And we welcome you back here on the Gospel Station Sports and Talk. We are live with what I'm calling here the winter recap show, at least part one of the 2025 winter recap show, if you will. That's what I think I'm going with here. This is Luke Young live from QDOBA Mexican Eats here off of Northwest Expressway. Super excited to be back for our monthly show here at QDOBA. I'm joined by Mike Gannon in the studio. Daniel's here with me at QDOBA. We're about to get into it. But first, a little bit about the restaurant, of course. So QDOBA is at 7002 Northwest Expressway in Suite A. We've been here plenty of times in the past, but one thing that I saw stopping by here that I hadn't noticed before is they've got a sign up there on the back, and it's a real simple sign, just right up by the cash register, but it has very important information on it. Cater your holiday festivities here at QDOBA. They both deliver and set up for your holiday events. They've got a QR code up there you can scan, so if you're looking for some last-minute, again, food for the holiday celebration, there you go. QDOBA's got you handled. I didn't know they did that. I just found that out today before the show, but it's perfect for exactly what we're looking for because everybody could eat some good Mexican food. Listen, in the Christmas story, they ate, Vietnamese for Christmas, so you can eat Mexican. That's nothing wrong with that at all, but
well, they do all kind of catering, have for years. I tell you what, if you haven't tried it, I'm almost sure everybody's tried the QDOBA guacamole. Oh, my goodness, that is so good. And I thought you knew they catered. Everybody caters, and they will cater whatever event you want. It's fantastic. They do a good job. I have been eating here for years, and it's pretty good stuff right here. And, of course, you can come by for lunch. I've got a great staff here. And, Luke, I don't mean to be biased, but I'm kind of thinking this QDOBA, they might get mad at me, but I'm not sure there's anybody that makes better food and the best customer service right here. And consistency, you see the same people all the time. I mean, it's really cool. It's really a nice place. I've been eating here for years. And so thought I'd throw that in for you, Luke.
Hey, you might see the same people. They've been seeing the same people for all these years. So I'm not surprised that you know all that about them. Not at all.
Well, it's good stuff. But, just looking at that. And, by the way, it's right on Northwest Expressway. I mean, there's a lot of QDOBAs, but this one I really like. It's Luke, I remember when they opened up, they had people lined out the door way back. I mean, we're talking they were lined out the door here. And great job at QDOBA. But anyway, I don't mean to take up. While I'm talking, Luke, I might as well mention, don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, EPH 5:11 p.m. at 5 o'clock today. We're going to have Ron Bruner on from First Assembly of God in Kingfisher. Always enjoy having him on. And it's right before Christmas. And it's really good.
Yes, and Merry Christmas. Of course. Can't go by without mentioning that. Merry Christmas, Daniel. Mike, Merry Christmas back at the studio. And to everybody watching, Merry Christmas. Glad you're tuning in with us here for, I'm officially going with the 2025 Winter Recap. I think that's officially the title of this show. Mike, what's your thoughts on that title? Is that a good one? It sets us up for 2026 Winter Recap when we need one.
Let's go with it. That's a good title.
I like long names. Setting up for 2026. That's a good one, too. Because I think the Bethany girls and boys are going to win a state championship,
We'll have plenty to talk about.
We've already had two football of our teams that we follow win state championships, so why not Bethany, both girls and boys? What do you think?
Absolutely, I like it. So that's the header, the 2025 Winter Recap. The subheader is setting up for the 2026 Winter Recap.
There you go. See, that's what we have him here. He's so creative.
Put it on a banner and hang it. We got it. But, yeah, so talking about all the winter sports happening right now, mainly going to be basketball, of course, but, of course, we'll mention the football, a little bit of swim. Bowling was in the news recently for Bethany, of course. But, Mike, man, I just got to ask, how was your weekend? I've already talked to Daniel today, but I haven't gotten a chance to talk to you yet.
It was okay. A little disappointing and a little aggravating on some fronts, and I reached the stage of acceptance on some others, so that's kind of where we ended up.
I am afraid that I know what you're talking about, my friend.
Oh, I hear a static now. There's a static, so we can't talk about it. There's too much of a static going on. I mean, anyway, great stuff here at QDOBA Mexican Restaurant. Go ahead.
Yeah, Mike, I'm afraid I know exactly what you're talking about. And actually, I would like to mention some stuff a little bit later on towards the end of the show just the breaking news that's been popping out through today, because there's actually some really interesting news coming out of college and pro scene again, so we can't skip by on that. But as far as the winter sports go, so for those who have been keeping up with us on the Gospel Station Sports and Talk, you know we are in the thick of it with basketball right now. Coaches shows and games and tournaments and everything that's been going on. So we've already actually done one of our 3 tournaments this year. We were down in Duncan for the Southern Oklahoma Invitational. But that day that Oklahoma was playing that first playoff game, we were actually over at Harding Charter Prep catching 2 basketball games for that one. Both W's, by the way, both for women's and men's. And Mike, asking your general thoughts here before we really get into specifics. You've been able to watch all these games through our broadcast back at the station. 7-2 for the men's, 6-2 for the women's. Just give me your general thoughts on these teams as we head to our first big break of the season.
They are very impressive right out of the gate. They were a little sluggish, first game, first week jitters, but they have both groups, men's and women's, have locked in, and that Duncan tournament seems like it really helped because, boy, they just both play lights out.
I'd say that especially on the men's side, that tournament helped.
Yeah, it's like they are locked in and they are loaded. Now the thing we got to worry about is coming into first week in January when everybody comes back. There's something there's not any rust going on, and that would be unfortunate. But if they stay locked in, they'll go deep in the playoffs. They'll go deep. They could definitely end up back at the new big house. I can see that in March.
I can see it too. They're a scrappy team. That's the word that especially Coach Saylor has used to describe them, I think, as scrappy. And Daniel, I'll send the same question over to you, just your general thoughts on the basketball teams from what you've heard at this point in the season.
Well, I don't know if it's a competition, but of course I'm always positive that's who we're following. I think they look pretty good. Watching the little bit I haven't got to watch all of them, but your play-by-play and watching them, those girls and both guys look really, really good. I don't know how good the competition is this early in the season, but I'm impressed, and of course I'm always going to root for them to win it all, so that's kind of my thoughts so far. I'm excited about them.
Yeah, me too. And actually, Daniel, you bring up a good point with your point towards the competition. So being that it's high school, it's not like they're separated into conferences like colleges, right? They've got their teams. It's mostly geographically based. They only go so far to play a district game. So that level of competition can vary wildly between schools. And actually, we're going to see that a little bit this year when we go and look at the schedules of some of the teams top of the class. Probably in segment number 2, I really want to dig into those. But if you ask me to explain district points or class points or whatever it is, I couldn't do it. But if you ask me to give you a guess of how it works, I think I could be able to do it. So to you both, it seems to me like standings are based, 1, on votes and 2, on strength of record before anything else, or strength of schedule, if you will. Looking at some of the top teams, especially in the men's, it's like Douglas and Cassia Hall right now, and they're playing, ranked teams from every class from 6A to 3A between them all. Like, they have some tough opponents. And even though Fort Gibson is 3-1 right now in third, and Crossings is 4-4 in fourth, not exactly a stellar undefeated record, they are playing such tough opponents. It seems like, to me, that's keeping them above. And you said it, Mike. We came out the gates a little bit sluggish at times, but the men's picked up that good ranked win against Mount St. Mary's. But both of them lost to Crossings, and both of them lost to the men's lost to Crossings, I believe it was, and the women's lost to Kingfisher. Let me double check that just in case. The men's lost by 10, both lost to Kingfisher. There we go. I got it right.
That was it.
Yeah, there we go. So as far as starts of the season goes, that definitely slowed them down a little bit. I think that will come back to play, especially that Kingfisher loss a little bit later on. Because if I'm not mistaken, and Mike, might know a little bit more about this than me, if I'm not mistaken, Kingfisher is in our district.
I believe so. I believe they're in our district this year.
They've been in it for all our other sports, so I don't see why they wouldn't be, but the districts aren't released yet, and I don't know when they do get released.
Generally speaking, yes, Kingfisher would be in this thing. Usually the districts for the basketball and the football are pretty parallel. Maybe one or two schools are swapped out, but for 90% of it, it's the same schools.
Okay, I got you. Yeah, that makes sense. I think they called it like the Western North Conference, which strange name, by the way. Not the Northwestern the Western North Conference.
I said, the OSSAA is a interesting organization that have their ways of setting these things up. So,
by the way, their website.
They show up. They tell you who you're playing and what division you're in this year, and you're like, okay,
pretty much. Oh, Mike, by the way, their website has been down all day. So I haven't even been able to do much research. Their website's been down.
Well, it is hot and schools are out, so.
It's true, but hey, I'm trying to go see if there was like a week 3 ranking before school let out. I'm trying to know, and I can't get on their website. Oh, well.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Yeah, oh, well. What can you do? For those who are just now joining us, we are live on Facebook as well as online, so go to the Gospel Station Sports and Talk Facebook page, and you can see the video stream, or you can go to thegospelstation.com, scroll down and hit the Sports and Talk tab, and that'll take you to Live 365 where our audio-only stream lives. So either way, if you're tuning in on either one, we want to thank you no matter what. It's always great to us that you decide to tune in. We are coming up on the end of our first segment. Again, on segment number 2, and I'm going to break these down by gender. So we're going to go with one segment dedicated to men's, one segment dedicated to women's for second and third. Then we'll come back in the fourth, kind of summarize everything, and I do want to go over some of those live news to give you a little bit of hints at some of what's coming up. Really deep schedule dives, class rankings. We'll look at some future matchups. And as far as breaking news goes, I've got transfer portal news, I've got injury news, I've got relocation news, and I've got a little bit of free agency news from Major League Baseball as well. So we've got plenty to talk about on this show, plenty. When we come back, we're going to send it to our first break here on thegospelstation.com. This is a 2025 winter recap. When we come back, we're really digging into the meat of this thing, so stick around. You won't want to miss it. Do it best at Evans Hardware. Since 1965, Evans Hardware has provided Midwest City with top-quality home improvement supplies and a one-of-a-kind shopping experience. At 1021 South Douglas Boulevard, Evans Hardware is family-owned and has the right products for every situation, including DIY projects, professional contracting, or quick fixes. Their satisfaction guarantee and quick turnarounds mean you'll always find what you need. So visit Evans Hardware in Midwest City. Or call 405-732-1898. That's 405-732-1898. Evans Hardware in Midwest City. Learn about nursing and long-term care at CNA Training Academy, 7463 Northwest 23rd Street. Mary Chikwuma offers affordable, useful, and flexible classes every day that will teach you the foundations of medical care. Mary Chikwuma has been teaching her class for 18 years and is eager to teach you. Understand vital signs, train for and be hired as a PCA, and learn about caring for patients in nursing homes, hospitals, assisted living situations, and more at CNA Training Academy. Call 405-315-1357 and ask about financial qualifications. CNA Training Academy is open to all ages and has classes on the weekend and in the evenings as well. Call CNA now, 405-315-1357, and join classes of people learning about nursing and inspiring each other daily.
C&J Sporting Goods at 6604 Northwest 38th Street has been serving Bethany and the Metro for over 30 years, with 3 generations ready to serve you with the best shopping experience of product knowledge and customer service anywhere, with a wide selection of guns, ammo, ear and eye protection, law enforcement equipment, hunting, camping, and survival gear. If they don't have it, they will order it for you. Veteran owned and family operated. Call 405-789-8102. C&J Sporting Goods.
This is Blake Nightingale State Farm, your local insurance agent over at 7304 Northwest Expressway. Here to tell you more about the business is Blake himself.
Hi, my name is Blake Nightingale, State Farm insurance agent located at 7304 Northwest Expressway here in Oklahoma City. I've been a State Farm agent since 2018. We've got 5 licensed staff members here, and we do everything from auto, home, life insurance, and health insurance. And we're real passionate about helping people. And we love youth sports, and we sponsor a lot of local teams here. And so, like I always tell people, Like a good neighbor, we're here to help you.
Just like you heard from Blake, Blake Nightingale State Farm is here to help you protect what's important to you, because your car and home aren't just things. They're where you make your memories. Visit Blake and his friendly staff at 7304 Northwest Expressway and call them at 405-728-1313. Like a good neighbor, Blake Nightingale is there.
At the home of the Gotta Have It, you'll find Apple Tree Antique Gallery, located in the heart of downtown Bethany at 6740 Northwest 39th Expressway. Enjoy spacious shopping with up to 77 unique vendors across more than 10,000 square feet, offering everything from jewelry and clothing to one-of-a-kind treasures and so much more. Don't miss our third Friday weekend specials every month. And yes, we're open Sundays. Call us at 495-0602. Apple Tree Antique Gallery in Bethany, home of the Gotta Have It.
Tanko Mechanical, Electrical, and Plumbing is a commercial and industrial contractor. They offer end-to-end client experience that includes seamless communication, budgeting, staffing, on-site organization, and its solid quality handiwork every time. The past projects include both new construction and repairs and restoration. Occupied and fully operational job sites are never a problem. They can also plan, manage, and build multi-phase jobs. We are a turnkey plumbing, electrical, HVAC, and mechanical contractor. Tanko Company, give them a call at 405-255-7804. Again, that's 405-255-7804. Tanko.
Okay, folks, that brings us right back out of break. Thank you for joining us here on the Gospel Station Sports and Talk. We are live on Facebook and on Live 365. Segment number 2 here of the 2025 Winter Recap. Luke Young joined by Mike Gannon back at the studio. On this segment, we're really going to break down what has happened this far and what we can expect from the future for each of these teams, each of these Bethany basketball teams. We'll start first, I guess, with the women's, then we'll go to men's in segment number 3 after the halfway point. But first, a little bit more about QDOBA. So, as with all locations, this QDOBA does offer free Wi-Fi to all its patrons. We use it to honestly help us with our stream, so it's super handy. But they're open 10:30 a.m. to 10 p.m. Sunday through Tuesday, 10:30 to 3 on Wednesday. They are closed on Thursday this week, and they're back open 10:30 a.m. to 10 Friday and Saturday. Those are their holiday hours. Their normal hours, of course, just 10:30 to 10. But you can call 405-470-7772 to get a hold of this QDOBA location right off of Northwest Expressway, corner of Rockwell and Expressway. It's a super great location right in the middle of the shopping center. Easy to get to everything here and easy to get to QDOBA, which is one of the best parts about it. So thanks so much to QDOBA for letting us come by and do this. You can see some of the dining area here, spacious, clean, and very festive today. Very festive. I'm loving that part. So here in segment number 2, Mike, let's go ahead and just dig right into it. So Bethany Women's, as of the last rankings, and again, OSSAA has been down, so I haven't had a chance to verify some of this information, but currently, as of the last known rankings, Bethany is sitting at number 8 in Class 4A with a 6-2 record, right above Chickasha by maybe 20 points. They have a tied record, both 6-2. They are sitting right outside the top 5, but still inside the top 10. You know, they've really lacked that big win, I think, as far as the women's goes, Mike. They've gotten some, the tournament wins were good. They swept that, right? They've played some really big blowout games, but you look at their record so far, you're looking at currently one ranked opponent that they've played through the month of December, and that was Kingfisher, 25-point loss. Not exactly looking great on the eye test. The loss to Woodward, that's rough, it happens, but they are still searching for, in my opinion, that what we call, and of course it just escapes me, trademark win.
Signature win.
Yeah, signature win. They are still lacking that through the first month. Now, they'll have some chances going forward because the women's team does still have some really good 4A and district opponents in Tuttle and Elk City and Weatherford coming up down the road, so they'll have their chance. But, Mike, do you think 8 is too high, too low, just right for this women's team right now?
I think it's a little low, but it's just based on who they played. I think I understand why they're ranked where they're at. because especially considering they had the big 98-point blowout the other night. That really, you know,
Yeah.
that kind of they may have skewed their numbers a little. What's impressing me is the movement of the ball of the women's team. The women's, a lot of seniors moved on, but the women's team are made up of players who have been together. Excuse me, they were at the JV level, right?
Yes.
So they played together. So that first week, 2 weeks, they had to incorporate with the bunch of these JV girls who played together, had to incorporate with the varsity, returners. So they kind of had to figure out some things. But as I said earlier, it looks like they're really starting to gel. And if they're gelling and they play, the way they've been playing the last week, I don't expect them to lose by Kingfisher as much as they did on that first match.
Now, we know, thinking back to that game, that was that first real instance of going up against the full court trap defense. Turnover numbers were through the roof. There was no ball security. Since then, they have really sort of rectified that against any opponent that has tried that kind of defense.
Yes.
And honestly, they've done it by adopting it themselves. So they have improved their own full court defense. They've been running it against everybody, and it is working to some crazy effects. For those who weren't with us, that game at Harding Charter Prep was a 98-13 victory for the women's. Again, that's a road game, final game of December for this big break. Whew, that's 85-point win. And
and they were playing lights out right from the jump. I mean, it was just, it was unreal.
pretty much.
How smooth they were, and that's probably a situation regarding the competition. Harding Charter Prep. Some of the Bethany girls, they seemed like they had a good 8 to 10 inches, almost a foot on some of the Harding Charter Prep women. So I think that was part of it, why they scored so many points. But the ball movement, the ball placement, and the just the speed that they're playing at was what was impressing me.
And I was going to mention that myself. Harding Charter Prep has not been a great team this year. They're winless at home. I think they might be winless on the season, but Bethany did that without Reese Harris, right? They do that with missing players. I'm trying to remember if was it DC? I want to say I'm pretty sure Cameron Regier, who was the other player we were missing, was in Washington D.C. for that game. I'm pretty sure that's what I was told. So they're missing their star player in the post, as well as Reese, who's a great three-point shot, who's a great ball handler, and they're still putting up 30-point wins on Southwest Covenant, 80-point wins on Harding Charter, going right into the break. It didn't feel like they missed a beat.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, she was in D.C. for an event. Yeah.
So looking ahead for the women's schedule while we've got time left here, you'll see the Hulbert tournament, the Purcell tournament, those are all coming up, but the real big games are against these district opponents. Tuttle is ranked number 16 in Class 4A. Elk City at the end of January is ranked number 14 currently. Anadarko starts off February number 6 in 3A. Weatherford is number 15 in 4A towards the end of the year. Bethany doesn't play a team currently ranked higher than them again. Kingfisher was that one opportunity, tournaments notwithstanding. So it really does feel like to get the highest spot possible, they are in need of these big wins, right? They can't be losing games to lower classes, even if it's good lower class teams like Anadarko. And if you lose to another 4A school, you lose to another 4A school. It happens. I mean, we saw it like with Woodward. But you really don't want to be dropping games to a 3A school, to a 2A school if you meet them in the tournament, no matter how good they are, in my opinion. And it's mostly because that loss to Kingfisher, in my opinion, feels like it would gatekeep Bethany from one of those top 5 spots should things turn out the way the current classifications are, Mike.
Yeah, I agree.
Elk City, Weatherford, and Tuttle, obviously 14, 15, and 16 respectively. if they start to climb to the top 10, if they do go middle of the class right now, Elk City 6-2, Weatherford 6-1, Tuttle 3-5. I do think that is good for Bethany to be meeting these teams, even if they are ranked lower, because when you look at it, Kingfisher's got a tough schedule, right? Kingfisher 5-2 right now. One of the reasons they are ahead is because of the schedule they play. They had the number 3 school in 2A. They had us, who was at the point of playing them ranked number 4 in 4A. They played Washington, number 1 in 3A. They played Ava Freedom, number 3 in 3A. They're going after ranked opponent after ranked opponent after ranked opponent, so the losses don't feel like they hurt Kingfisher as bad as one would for Bethany right now. So I'm kind of worried that early loss has kind of put us on the back foot, not for good, but for what feels like it could be the majority of the season, which is why I harp so much on the wins, which is why I'm prioritizing those, emphasizing those so much. But it does still feel like the future is in Bethany's hands, right?
Yes.
Take care of what you need to take care of, and everything else should fall into place because, as you said, Mike, they are maybe ranked low even for this point in the season. Between them and Kingfisher is Hera and McLeod, which they're both undefeated, so I think that's a big reason of why they've gotten the nod there. And not to mention, Hera has already played Tuttle, right? So there are a few just schedule things that worked out in their favor. Your best argument is probably switching them with McLeod. Yeah, I'd say probably switching them with McLeod because McLeod has only played Bethel as a ranked team, and Bethel's ranked 3A. So if you're going to switch anyone with them, you go Bethany at 7, McLeod at 8. I think that's the adjustment I would make there. But they're very similar at this point in time. Okay, so we've hit on the top 5 loss. We've hit on the ranked opponents. We've hit on how they need to take care of business facing lower classification opponents. District tournaments start on February 21st. It's still plenty of time out right now. But looking at those class points, Bethany is just shy of 600, 595. McLeod is basically 30 points ahead of them with 626. And that is kind of where my confusion is because I do not understand how the points work. Frankly, I've never seen an explanation for it. I haven't been able to figure it out myself. McLeod, I mean, they're undefeated, so that's got to count for something. 3-0 versus 4A, 4-0 versus 3A.
I think it's they're undefeated. I'm pretty sure that's why they're ranked ahead of them.
I think so too. I mean, it has to be, right? It has to be.
Yeah, it's being undefeated.
That's what I think too. Bethany won their last 2 to close out the season, 55-24 over Southwest Covenant, and 98-13, as we mentioned, over Harding Charter Prep. They'll come back January 6th versus Blanchard, who Blanchard is not ranked on the women's side, but they are ranked on the men's side, and that's a good transition to get us into the men's basketball talk. We are through the halfway point show here on the 2025 Winter Recap on the GospelStation.com Sports and Talk. Thank you for joining us. Luke Young, joined by Mike Gannon, back in the studio here in Oklahoma City. I'm at QDOBA Mexican Eats, right off the Northwest Expressway, 7002 Northwest Expressway to be exact. Go to locations.qdoba.com to find whichever store is closest to you, but this is our favorite. Open until 10 p.m. Sunday through Tuesday, 3 on Wednesday, and close on Thursday for the holiday season before returning to normal operating hours. We'll be back after this commercial break. Don't go anywhere. Men's basketball up next.
John Campbell is your local health market agent that specializes in Medicare. Instead of talking through an 800 number, talk face-to-face with your local agent, John Campbell, to answer all your questions and find the company that best fits your needs. John Campbell Health Market serves Yukon, Bethany, and the surrounding area and will travel across the state of Oklahoma to meet with you. Call John Campbell Health Markets at 405-200-8414. Call 405-200-8414. Grandview Windows and Doors is a proud sponsor of the Bethany Broncos and a part of the community serving all of Oklahoma City area with a mission to provide our customers exceptional window and door solutions. Locally owned and operated, Grandview Windows and Doors is your window and door specialist. Drop on by our showroom to get the latest color, styles, and special pricing just in time for the fall. Call 405-787-0230 and visit us on Facebook, Grandview Windows and Doors.
Stan's Plumbing is your locally owned, full-service, licensed, and bonded plumbing company, proudly serving the Oklahoma City Metro for over 30 years. Stan's provides all types of plumbing services like faucet and toilet repairs, sewer repair, and trenchless pipe replacement, water heater repair and installation, both tank and tankless, plus drain cleaning and jetting. All plumbers arrive with fully stocked trucks and can resolve your plumbing problems in a timely manner. Since 1988, Stan's Plumbing has held itself to a higher standard in plumbing. Call 405-721-5100 to schedule your appointment. Stan's Plumbing, Valley service in a dirty business. 405-721-5100.
When technology has you screaming at the office, call Simplify Tech Solutions at 405-981-1011. Located at 4221 North MacArthur Boulevard, Simplify Tech Solutions features IT management, business phone systems, manages Wi-Fi, and offers repair and support. Simplify your Wi-Fi before the emotional breakdown by calling Simplify Tech Solutions. Locally owned and operated at 405-981-1011. 405-981-1011. Simplify Tech Solutions.
Now open at 5801 West Britain Road. It's Himador Mexican Grill. Order at Himador Mexican Grill and be treated to a spacious dining area, friendly staff, and delicious Mexican dishes. Fajitas, quesadillas, seafood, vegetarian meals, they've got it all at Himador Mexican Grill, 5801 West Britain Road. With different lunch and dinner specials every day and great prices, Himador Mexican Grill is the place to be. They open at 11 a.m. every day and come by starting August 30th to get some drinks at the brand new bar. The people love Himador Mexican Grill, and you will too. Call 405-367-7274 or email himadorgrill5801@gmail.com to reserve your table. Himador Mexican Grill is eager to serve you. 5801 West Britain Road. And call 405-367-7274. Name brands and more for less at Victory Mattress Outlet. Welcome to Victory Mattress Outlet, 7101 Northwest Expressway in Oklahoma City. Family owned and operated Victory Mattress Outlet has options for every budget, like quality 10-inch beds to high-end luxury mattresses fit for a king. You're the winner here. Shop pillows, protectors, bedroom sets, and more. And remember, the friendly people at Victory Mattress Outlet can help deliver, assemble, and set up your mattresses and furniture. Call 405-510-6988 and never pay retail price for top brands again. Victory Mattress Outlet, 7101 Northwest Expressway, 405-510-6988. That's 405-510-6988. Victory Mattress Outlet, where your best night's sleep costs less. Segment number 3 here on the 2025 Winter Recap Show on the Gospel Station Sports and Talk. Thank you so much for joining us. This is Luke Young live from QDOBA Mexican Eats out here in Oklahoma City, having a great time. We're right off of Northwest Expressway, 7002 Northwest Expressway in Suite A. We're right in front of the Burlington, actually, it's Trader Joe's now, isn't it? Yeah, that's right. It's now Trader Joe's. I was looking out there. I was like, wait a second. I forgot what that store is. It's because it's brand new Trader Joe's right here in the shopping center, right across from Shimmer Snow Cones. It's in a great area of the city, and you'll love stopping by. But Daniel, earlier on segment number 1, if you were with us for that, he complimented the people that work here. And if there's one thing you should know about Daniel, it's that he values kindness above just about everything else. If you're a kind person, Daniel's probably going to like you. And that speaks volumes to the people working here at QDOBA that he is coming back so much and that we do continue to come back here. And we've been happy to work with them all the while. So stop by QDOBA, talk to them yourselves, get a feel, get a taste, if you will, speaking of a restaurant, of what it's like to be a customer here, because they'll treat you right. Great food, great people, timely service, in a great place. So thanks so much to QDOBA, supporters of Bethany High Athletics and the Gospel Station Sports and Talk. But segment number 3, Mike, we have made it. It's time to get to the second half of our show and keep talking some high school basketball. Now we're switching over to the men's side of things. So men's basketball coming off of a 73-59 win over Southwestern Covenant and a 68-52 win against Harding Charter Pratt. That one did end up being much closer. Mike, that game, actually both of those games were really, really good again. Bethany has had some opponents come out of the gates firing. They have had some tough competition pretty early on in this season. And what have you thought about their ability to push themselves to a 7-2 record?
They said I'm very impressed with them, and they too. This team is young, right?
Pretty young, yeah. I mean, really,
they're pretty young as well, and they've been able to really handle themselves. You know, they get teams will jump up on them, and they've gone toe to toe with them. And Brady's pretty impressive in the paint.
It is. It is. There are a lot of great players on this team. They're kind of the opposite of what Kingfisher is this year back when we played them. So Kingfisher's lineup was like 4 seniors and 1 junior in the starting lineup. We're like the opposite. We're 1, 2 juniors, a senior, and sophomore for Brady. you know? Yeah. We're kind of younger where most of the teams, especially the high-ranked teams, are older. Speaking on Crossings Christian, Kingfisher, Mount St. Mary even. They have had some tough challenges. So let's go through their record right now. So we started off the season with a 10-point loss to Crossings Christian. Crossings is number 2 in Class 4A right now. They were the state runner-up last year, if I remember correctly. They're looking to go back to the championship game. So that's a tough opponent. They played them close. Win over Star Spencer. Loss at Kingfisher on the road again. Kingfisher's ranked number 14 right now, I believe. So they're a very good squad as well. But that was another situation where I think, personally, the experience and the style of defense was able to get to Bethany better than they expected. But then you come back for the Duncan Tournament, Southern Oklahoma Invitational. It's a win against Capitol Hill. It's a win against Cache, both comfortable. And then you have the overtime win versus Mount St. Mary, who is number 6 in Class 4A. Mike, I think that was the game in a tournament championship that kind of proved what this team could be capable of. That's a very, very good top 10 head-to-head win for Bethany right now.
Yes, that they really showed some they showed some moxie on that one, and it's a great win for them this early in the year.
Absolutely. You come back, then you get the win over Woodward. You get the win over Southwest Covenant, who's number 5 in Class A. They're a private school, number 5 in A. That is the one situation where you don't want to take that class for granted. They could play some basketball. And Bethany played them to a T. They played them at the same rate and then better as the game got, into the later minutes. And that speaks a lot to their maturity on the floor. But then you get the win at Harding Charter to head into break. Mike, we come back with number 7 in the class, Blanchard. I mentioned that district opponents are going to be big for both teams. For men's, it's even more so because you have Blanchard to bring in the new year, and then you have 3 ranked opponents in the row before we go to the postseason. They've got some tough draws here. But how are we feeling about this team getting ready for Blanchard before we go out to the Holbert tournament?
That, from what I remember back when I was in high school, the winter break can really mess with a team. And I believe in the post game there was talk that the teams are going to practice during the break sometime right after New Year's, right?
Yeah, they did say that. Yes.
They're all going back in going in on the second and getting some reps in and get some time in. So hopefully that'll help. They'll practice on the second. They'll practice on the Monday when they're back in school on that day, and then they'll face, the season, and then it's time to get serious. So
yeah. And though that you do have to understand, all teams are going to be doing that. I don't know many teams that aren't going to find time to practice during the break. And I can't imagine head coach Jeff Ward over at Blanchard is going to be any different. So with the team he's got this year. Let's talk a little bit about Blanchard because, again, they are a very important opponent coming up. Perfect record right now, 6-0. They're right behind Weatherford, who's 7-0. Blanchard has wins over Perkins Tryon, number 19 in 4A. They had back-to-back wins over Clinton and Tuttle, who Tuttle we will see later on. That was a 30-point win for them. And they had that last to go to break, a 47-38 win it was over Purcell, who we are going to see again later on in a tournament. So they have kind of had what the women's team for Bethany has had, where they haven't had a lot of top-ranked opponents, but they haven't dropped the games they were supposed to win. Bethany, coming back out of break, is equally as big a matchup for Blanchard as it is for us. They have this game circled on the calendar, say get ready to play the Broncos because they're coming to us. It's on our home floor. Mm-hmm. Blanchard is going to come into Bethany looking for a top 13, top 13 win right now, looking to cement themselves as a not just top half school in the class, but a top 5 contender in Class 4A in 2026. That's what I expect out of Blanchard. Again, I bring this up because they play us, but they also play Kingfisher. So Kingfisher is currently, let's see, let me make sure I've got this right here, number 12 in the class. They are right above us. We're number 13. They're 6-1, we're 7-2. Fairly even. The head-to-head keeps them ahead of us by 1 spot. But here you see almost like what we had in football in Class 4A, where it's 3 teams in a triangle who each have major implications on one another's playoff hopes. Now, of course, that was later in the season for football. We're not quite back.
Yep. It's 4:35. Yes, the kids got, and usually this happens when the kids get home from school, right at the bottom of the hour. The signal drops because all the kids are on, back in the day, they would all be on their PlayStation 3s. That's not happening much anymore, but I don't know what happened there.
No, just the internet went out for a little bit, so I'm getting it back. I'm getting it back on both streams right now, so hopefully we didn't drop anything on either computer. Got to take a second to look. Internet, we might be coming back.
Yep, you're back.
We're back on Zoom. It's Facebook that's the problem.
Facebook's back.
Facebook is back?
Yeah, I can see.
Okay, good.
So he said we were talking about how Kingfisher and how Kingfisher is going to be the in this three-team triangle that's going to decide who lands where in the postseason probably.
Right.
Coupled the Kingfisher is going to be the dominant force on this side of I-35, where it looks like Choctaw and Hare are going to be fighting it out on the other side of I-35, maybe with McLeod.
Yeah, and to your point, Kingfisher does have Weatherford and Community Christian themselves to play later on after that Blanchard game. So all teams have their struggles. They have their tough matchups, but I do look at those 3 as kind of the indicators of who's going to come out of that side of 4A, right? That quarter, if you will.
Yeah.
And to Bethany, I will say the loss to Crossings, okay, that'll keep us out of top 5, most likely. Let's just say it how it is. Crossings has kind of created that rift. But at the end of the year, Weatherford and Ardmore in February could have probably, honestly, as much of a significant impact as Blanchard and Kingfisher could on Bethany's postseason look. So Weatherford is number 6, Ardmore is number 16 in 4A. This comes after playing Anadarko, number 17 in 3A. It's that final 3 games that I mentioned earlier. Those could have just as much of, potentially more of an impact. So this Bethany team, man, they're going to get tested in some crazy ways. It doesn't feel like at any point in the season they're going to get a chance to just sit back and relax and be where they are. They're always going to have someone gunning for them, or they're always going to have to be gunning for someone if they want a favorable playoff outlook.
I think the Southwest Covenant game might have been the relaxing, and some of the opponents they faced in the Duncan tournament, they were, they were able to kind of control those games from start to finish. So I think I'm with you. I think it's going to be a dogfight.
Bethany,
through the tournament.
Yeah, I'd say those early rounds of the tournament were. I'd agree with you. Bethany is 394 points, right? That's they're the only ones actually in 300 points. Everybody either has 400 more or 200 and less, so they're the only one in the 300 range. But Oklahoma Christian School is above us. Ada is above us right now. Those are the 11s and 10s. It'll be a climb. It's a tough ask, but I think they do have a team that could do it. Right? I've just seen too much of them to really not believe in Coach Holliday, believe in the players he's putting out on the floor and the game plan they have. Because when it works, man, it works. Will they be able to get it to work against the top opponents in the class? That is the question for them. Because it's the same thing as the women's. We're still at the point in the season where whatever they want to be, whatever they want to accomplish, it's right there for them to achieve. So we'll see if they can. But we got to go back to break here. This has been segment number 3, the 2025 Winter Recap. We are live from QDOBA Mexican Eats out here, 7002 Northwest Expressway in Suite A. getting ready for the holidays. Remember that QDOBA does cater. They will deliver and set up for you. So stop by here, scan that QR code, and find out more about it. Or you can call 405-470-7772. We got one segment after this, and then it's EPH 511 on the Gospel Station Sports and Talk, so we invite you to stick around. But for now, we're going to break. One more. We'll be back after this.
Lilygrass Flowers and Decor is rooted in rich history dating back to 1979 in the precious memory of Flowers by Roy. Alicia Rankins and staff have carried the commitment to only offer the finest, unique floral arrangements with same-day delivery locally and nationally. What you envision, we make reality at Lilygrass Flowers and Decor, 7101 Northwest Expressway. Call Lilygrass Flowers and Decor at 721-1813 and begin a new memory.
Are you looking for some hair, some virgin hair, some extensions? Well, come to Alchemy Ming Virgin Hair and Boutique. We have moved to 10709 North Rockwell Avenue, Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, Suite D. Come and see all the styles from your best hairstylist, your favorite hairstylist, the award-winning hairstylist of the year, Jasmine J.G. Garrett Whitson.
Stephanie's Vintique and the Plaster Paint Company is all Oklahoma made at 3821 Asbury in Bethany, featuring vintage, chalk paint, antiques, clothing, vegan soaps and lotion.
At the home of the Gotta Have It, you'll find Apple Tree Antique Gallery, located in the heart of downtown Bethany at 6740 Northwest 39th Expressway. Enjoy spacious shopping with up to 77 unique vendors across more than 10,000 square feet, offering everything from jewelry and clothing to one-of-a-kind treasures and so much more. Don't miss our third Friday weekend specials every month. And yes, we're open Sundays. Call us at 495-0602. Apple Tree Antique Gallery in Bethany, home of the Gotta Have It.
Who's got the sauce? Zaxby's does. Come by Zaxby's Chicken Fingers and Buffalo Wings at 5859 Northwest Expressway and find out why Zaxby's is Oklahoma's go-to for great chicken meals. Zaxby's has the chicken fingers, the sandwiches, the wings, and the sauce that will leave your mouth watering. Now with the all-new lemon pepper line of meals. Late Night Zax introduces the Zappetizer Trio and keeps the drive-thru open after 8 p.m. So use the Zaxby's app to earn rewards, and remember that Zaxby's will cater your event. Head to 5859 Northwest Expressway or call 405-603-8190 to make your Zaxby's order now. 405-603-8190. Zaxby's.
And Merry Christmas, folks. We are back here for the final segment of the 2025 Winter Recap, setting up for the 2026 Winter Recap later on in the next year, we get to say. But thank you for joining us here on the Gospel Station Sports and Talk. This is Luke Young. I'm joined by Mike Gannon back at the studio. We're here at QDOBA Mexican Eats, 7002 Northwest Expressway, Suite A in Oklahoma City, right in the Rockwell Shopping Center right here on the corner of Rockwell, believe it or not, and Northwest Expressway. It's a super great place to be. People are starting to roll in here for dinner. It's about that time. I'm going to get myself something once we're done here with the show, but it's a very popular spot for both families and students while they are in school. I have seen multiple times both high school and college students coming through here to pick up food. It's one of those classic meeting spots, if you will. So stop by QDOBA. You'll love it. You'll see some people you know, and it's great for the holiday season with how festive it is inside. They've got trees. They've got decorations. You can see some of it, it looks like, in the video there, and it's always a great time every time we get the chance to come by. But they're open until 10 p.m. tonight, but you'll have to stop by before 3 p.m. on Wednesday because their holiday hours will be 10:30 to 3 on Wednesday and closed on Thursday before they resume normal hours on Friday. Well, we've made it to the final segment again. It's the 10 more minutes, and then we're on to EPH 511. We turn it back over to the studio. So we've gone over just about everything there is to go over here. We've set the stage for the year of 2026 in the spring semester, okay? We told you what has happened up to this point and what Bethany needs to do going forward. Now it's just a matter of getting it done. We've been assured that they are looking ahead to the big games, that they are going to prepare for them, that they expect to have their team practices, not to mention just individual practices that the kids are doing over the break. And, we'll be right there with them. We'll be at everything on GSN Sports and Talk, our YouTube channel, broadcasting all those games. Myself, John Hickman, giving you the best coverage possible for all the action so you don't miss any of it. And it's all completely free to you guys, by the way. No subscription needed. Subscriptions. But, Mike, this is where, we usually do in segment number 4 all of the normal sports shows, just the breaking news, whatever we want to talk about. But Bethany has so many sports going on. They're doing swimming at the same time. They're doing bowling, and esports was in the news not too long ago. There's so much going on at the high school. Do you ever think we'll be able to cover it all? Do you ever think we'll have enough people to do all the different sports?
Hopefully one day we will.
Hopefully.
Let's hope so.
All right, hear me out. I've got an idea for you. I reach out to esports. I say, I issue you a challenge because I found out today that some of the games they compete in for the esports program, I liked to play in high school. So hear me out. I issue them a challenge. However many games, whatever we do, I win, I get to ask them a question for each one. And I'm thinking however many games they win, they get to ask me a question or us a question, whoever's out there, for each one. What do you think of this idea? Is it a good idea or is that risky?
Well, we have to set up parameters first.
That's true. We would. We absolutely would. We can't let crazy high schoolers ask
we
anything.
are dealing with crazy high school kids.
Yeah, absolutely. But hear me out. We come out to like QDOBA or something. We set out the TV. We make it this whole big thing. I think it'd be fun.
It'd be fun.
I'm washed, so they should win a couple of games. It'd be fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have to remember that. I'm going to have to write down that idea. If you're listening, send this to whoever's coaching Bethany Esports. I really don't even know right now. I think they go year-round, though. I think they are one of the few sports that is year-round, almost kind of like cheer or pom is, how they're always doing something. If I am remembering correctly, bowling just got done with a tournament where the women's team performed very well, and esports has been doing tournaments on all the different games they play, like constantly, but they have their own state championships coming up in the spring, if I'm not mistaken, so hopefully we can catch them before they do a state championship, but even if we do it after, that might be fun either way. So there's a lot of stuff happening at Bethany, a lot of stuff we want to cover, and teams we want to meet. Speaking of teams we want to meet, Mike, one of the people I went to college with coaches Bethany High School middle school. So I'm thinking we could have another like middle school football show come on, do it with middle school basketball that time because we love that one. That one was so much fun.
Yeah. Yeah, it was. It was, yeah.
Are you making it out here? You're going to be on the headset asking them questions this time?
Somebody's got to run this board.
We can get Daniel to do it. I'm sure he could hold down the fort.
Okay.
No, it's all right. It's all right. You can ask them questions remotely. It's fine.
Yeah.
No, but to everybody tuning in, we've got a lot in the works here at the Gospel Station Sports and Talk. I've said this on morning shows in the past, but there's a lot we want to do and things we hope we can expand to be able to do. So your support really does mean the world to us. We love getting out there to broadcast these games. Personally, I think that knowing what these kids go through as far as organized sports, you know, just what it's like from a player's perspective, I get it. And they deserve to have their games broadcast, and high-quality broadcasts too, and not to mention free broadcasts.
Yeah.
They deserve to have their stuff shown to the world. I really do believe that. They try too hard, man. They do too much to let this go to waste. So your support allows us to get out there and support these kids that deserve it at the high school level. So if you're watching this and you own a local business, you like what we do, you want to help us out, get in talks with us as a business partner, we do have emails for that, anvgsn85@gmail.com or gotellgsn@gmail.com. Both of those do work. So we thank you ahead of time if you are willing to do that. We very much appreciate it. And to those who are just watching, man, we can't thank you enough. You know, the watches, the likes, the comments, the followers, all of it. It means the world to us. We really appreciate it. So, Mike, anything else we want to talk about before we end off this show? I could go through some of the breaking news if you want.
Yeah, let's breaking news. What's been going on?
Well, breaking news, the Kansas City Chiefs have entered into an agreement with the state of Kansas to host Chiefs football beginning with the 2031 NFL season. The franchise is designing and building a state-of-the-art domed stadium, and Arrowhead will no longer be the home of the Chiefs following 2030.
Yep, they're gonna bounce over into Kansas City, Kansas. Finally gets the stadium. They've been working on that since I think the '80s. So looks like it's finally a done deal.
Third baseman Munetaka Murakami and the Chicago White Sox are in agreement on a 2-year, $34 million contract. Murakami, 25, is the single-season home run champion in Japan, reported by Jeff Passan. Chicago? Am I hearing that right? The White Sox? Did you expect that to be the news we got a day ago?
Not the White Sox.
Does he instantly catapult them into the conversation? Are they competitive now with Mr. Murakami?
They should be, if the guy doesn't get culture shock from all the sausages.
Maybe. Ravens quarterback Lamar Jackson has a serious contusion to his back and is considered day-to-day. John Harbaugh says it doesn't look like it's more than that. He's in getting treatment currently.
Yeah, that last night, man, he just didn't look good. He hasn't played well all year.
No, it's definitely been a down year for the Ravens.
Yeah.
The injuries, man, they're piling up again. Kansas City has taken more injuries.
Yeah.
Quinshon Judkins dislocated his ankle and fractured his fibula in that last Browns game, so they're getting bad injuries too.
Yeah.
Really surprisingly, of all the teams going to the playoffs right now, are the Bears the healthiest?
Yes, actually, yes. I think the Bears are the healthiest. That's why they've been able to do what they've done in the last round. And speaking of the Bears, let's give a shout out to Caleb because he pulled a couple of plays in his game the other night that were straight out of his first game at when he came in relief at OU Texas. There were that one shot downfield he did. I mean, that was just deja vu, and which means good. He's getting his swagger back. He's getting his confidence back after being kind of shell shocked there in USC for the final year, and then last year with the Bears and everything they put him through there. It looks like he's starting to figure out the NFL and the NFL speed, and if he does, there's a reason why everybody saw him as a little Mahomes because that's where he's headed.
It's weird to say the Bears are competitive. Again, I'm not used to saying that. They were in the same situation as the Browns were. It felt like where they'd never be competitive. The quarterback couldn't overcome it.
They got a good true quarterback and a good offensive coordinator. That's the shocking part about the Bears. They've never been known for that.
Yeah, and they sent their defensive coordinator, head coach at the time, away. I mean, what idiot organization would pick up a head coach that bad? Oh, man, whoever did that must be really dumb.
We're talking about the Bears here. The Bears only believe in defense, and they only believed in defense for 60 years. A few times they did think about offense. It was the times they actually won.
Yeah, I know. It's like offense putting up points usually helps.
Yeah.
No, it's the Bears being good is good for my fantasy because I drafted Caleb. So anytime he's doing good is good for me. Tight end Caden Helms is entering the transfer portal. Helms had 5 catches for 35 yards and a touchdown this season. He does have 2 years of eligibility left. Yeah, he wasn't getting much. I mean, not when you have OU's, skilled players. Not when you have Jaron Kanek out there, right?
OU's got to do something about tight end play. They've had this aversion to tight ends in the last 10 years. And, I mean, they had a kid who was a star tight end at Norman High, and his parents were professors at OU, and Lincoln Riley and them said no. So he went to Iowa State, and he came back down his senior year and smoked OU.
Yeah, and
made him regret it on OU's field, looking around. It was a homecoming for him, and he's like he's just looking over at Lincoln Riley and saying, yeah.
Yeah, and that's
I don't know why you passed on me because every guy you brought in since you sent me away has not worked.
Yeah, and that's Lincoln Riley's fault.
Yes, it is.
But even to your point, Kanek had no touchdowns this year, I don't think. He finished with 44 receptions, over 500 yards, but no touchdowns.
Yeah,
I don't know what it is.
Last time we had a good tight end was Calcaterra, and Calcaterra's got a ring.
Yeah,
he's got a Super Bowl ring.
That's true, he
He
does.
went to Kansas City. So, I mean, I don't know what happened when it came to tight ends with OU's philosophy. That's got to change because a good tight end would have been very helpful Friday night.
I agree with you, but we don't have time to get into it. We'll save it for another coach's show, another sports show. This has been the 2025 Winter Recap at QDOBA Mexican Eats out here in Oklahoma City. Thanks so much to QDOBA. Again, 7002 Northwest Expressway, Suite A. Stop by, eat some great Mexican meals yourself. We're done here. EPH 511 right after this. Thank you again for tuning in. From Luke Young and Mike Gannon, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, God bless.